Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's session where we're here to discuss about the CBC career pathways. And this is going to be a very empowering session where we will help you discover your child's true potential and what they're capable of doing, especially if they're going through the CBC curriculum, and even more specifically, if they're in junior secondary school. Because at some point at the end of junior secondary school, they'll need to pick a career pathway as they head to senior secondary school. Thank you very much for joining me. So I want you to do two things. Please confirm that you can see me and you can hear me, and let me know in the chat. Just say you can see me, you can hear me, you can see the presentation, and you are good to go. If you're ready, also let me know. If you're watching the replay, it's still okay. We are going to just jump straight into today's session. What we are going to cover, three main things. Number one, we're going to understand learning styles. And I believe this is important to understand how our students or our children are learning best. And then we will look at what are the career pathways that are available with the CBC curriculum, that is at senior school. And also we'll look at how do they get there? What tools can we use to be able to help us make a more informed decision? And towards the end, we'll talk about the CBC aptitude assessment, which is an online assessment that is going to give you a report in terms of how your child learn best, what are the career pathways they are aligned to, and how you can be able to take up that assessment. I can see that we are good to go. Salome Dolo, you're saying, I can hear and I can see you. Thank you very much. Let me know also, where are you joining us from? I'll be happy to know. Just drop that in the comment. Where are you joining us from? Which school are you representing? And if you have also the time, you can let me know what is your expectation for today's session. What you realize that in the next 45 minutes or so, it's going to be a very interactive session. So I want you to get used to typing. If you're on the phone, just with your thumb or your computer, just type in the comments. I'll be able to quickly pick up those comments. And if you have any questions, also feel free to drop there. If you're following in on LinkedIn, I might not be able to see all the comments on LinkedIn. So at this point, if you can just jump on YouTube, it's much easier. Just search Daniel Mutuku. You'll see this session that is live. And then let me know in the comment that you are there. So my question to you, are you ready for today's session? If you're ready, say yes, you're ready. I'll be looking at the comment. So the question is, are you ready? If you're so, drop in the comment and let me know that you are ready for today's discussion. Thank you very much. I can also see Emelda Agoy was there saying, yeah, ready for the career pathways. Thank you very much. I can see Georgina Atieno saying, good to go. Asante sana. Salome representing Sukari Presbyterian Junior, Karibu, Karibu. I can also see Wairimo saying, yes, you're ready to go. Good stuff, good stuff. Keep them coming. I might not be able to see all of them, but I'll still be able to read through. So for those of you who are seeing me for the very first time, let me just take a quick moment to introduce myself. My name is Daniel Mutuku. I'm the founder of Career Point Solutions. And over the last 14 years, I've been privileged to work as a teacher, as a career coach, and career counselor. On top of that, I am a certified digital marketer by Google. And among other groups, I am a very proud member of the League of Young Professionals. Now, let's dive straight into this career pathway discussion. And for you or your child to be able to make the right decision as they think through the different arrays of careers that they have ahead of them. Right now, it's more of an open-ended kind of situation. I would say there are three things that will be important for them to decide which career they want to pick. Yeah, probably right now you ask them, what do you want to be? They want to be a doctor. Tomorrow they want to be an engineer. The next day a pilot. The other day, the next day maybe a teacher or a firefighter or something of that sort. But I would say you need to consider three things as you help your child to make this decision. Number one would be talent. Ask yourself, what are they good at? Now, when we talk about talent, we think about it more in terms of the athletic side of it, Are they good at football? Are they good at running or basketball or stuff? But I want to expand this a little bit further and say, when I'm talking about the talent, I'm looking at what are their area of strengths. What are some of the things that they do with a lot of ease? Yeah. For example, a child can be talented in public speaking. A child can be talented in coding or programming. From the word go, you can see they're very much interested in ICT. And using the phone and being very smart with the phone and tablet does not necessarily mean that they're good in ICT, but there are other indicators that you can be able to use there. So ask yourself, or as you engage in that discussion with your child, ask them, what are they good at? What some of the things that they do with a lot of ease that probably others are struggling with? So that is the first aspect when we talk about talent, their strength, the area they're good at. Then the second component is thinking about, what are they passionate about? What is it that they feel they have more compassion or they can do it even without considering, even if you're not being paid? As a parent yourself, I also want you to be asking yourself these questions. Yeah, probably it might not be too late if you're already in a certain career path, but you can decide which one you want to pick. But ask yourself, what are you passionate about? What is it that you can spend time without even realizing time is really passing? You start doing something 2 hours, 3 hours fly over time. And then the third thing, and this is now where you as a parent, you can guide them, is the money. Because I believe when you find yourself doing something, you're talented in something, you put so much time and you are passionate about it, and it does not have the economic viability, then it ceases being a viable career for you to choose. And this is what I mean. So if you look at a diagram that tends to kind of look at the overlap between these three things. Number one, your passion, what you love doing. Yeah, you can be having something that you love doing, you're talented or you're great at it, then you end up being happy but poor because there is no economic viability for that kind of a thing. When you end up doing something that you're very passionate about, but you're not talented in, you don't have the skills, but it gives you the money, then it tends to be more of dreaming. Yeah, very passionate, it can give you money, yeah, but I don't have the skills to really execute that task. I really don't have the talent or the strength in that area. And then you can have something that is you're talented in, you are probably trained in, you have those skills, and it's paying you well, and quote unquote, you end up being rich but miserable. And unfortunately, that is where most of us parents find ourselves in, whereby we are in a job that we were trained, so we have the skills, we are good at it, but we are not passionate about it. But because it pays the bill, we just go, and we dread every time we have to wake up in the morning, especially when it is Sunday evening and you know you have to wake up again tomorrow, Monday, to go to that job. You just dread that. You have that kind of dread in terms of you feel that's not something you want to do. Yeah, so that is rich but miserable. It pays you but not very happy. And a winning combination would be if at least you can be able to get something that you are passionate about, you are talented, you have the skills, you have the money, it pays well, that is a winning career. This section here, actually, the passion and the talent, it's still okay for you to have that passion and talent even if it doesn't pay, and that is where hobbies fall in. Yeah, you'll find that people are good in certain things, they take them as a hobby because it does not really pay the bills for them. They have the main job that they are going after that is helping them pay the bills. So that is one angle that we can be able to look at this when we are making the decision. And the flip side, I normally say, and especially for our students, is to understand what is their learning style. We have different types of learning styles and how we absorb the information that is taught to us. And I would say there are different theories, but I like using this categorization whereby we divide them into three, where we have learners who are visual learners, auditory learners, and those who are kinesthetic. Now, let me start with the visual learners. Visual learners are learners who learn through seeing and observing information, images, diagrams, charts, and stuff. So they really rely a lot in terms of their eyes as the sense of seeing. If they don't see something, they will have a hard time conceptualizing whatever they're being taught. So we have visual learners. The second group is what I call auditory learners. And with auditory learners, these are learners who learn through listening and repeating information. So I know personally I fall under this category. And I remember when I was in class, I would used to listen a lot to the teacher. And if I miss a lesson and another person tries to explain to me, or I try to read the book, I don't get it. And when someone says it or the teacher teaches and I hear it, I am more likely to retain that information. And then we have what we call the kinesthetic learners. These are learners who learn through actively participating and performing and doing hands-on kind of tasks. And we as parents, it is important for us to understand where our sons and daughters fall into, because this will guide how they end up learning and getting the most in terms of their learning experiences in the different subjects, which will also inform the careers that they end up into. So let me give you an example. And I'm a teacher. Since I'm a teacher, today I'm going to teach you a physics lesson. Let me not call it physics. When I say physics, I might scare most of you. I am going to teach you a science lesson. And in this simple science lesson, I am going to just demonstrate how the different learning styles work out and how the student tends to retain more information. So in today's lesson, are you ready for the lesson, by the way? If you're ready, let me know in the chat, yeah? Ready for the lesson. Today I want to take about 5 minutes only, and then I'll be able to see how well we are doing. Are you ready for the lesson, the science lesson? Okay, Salome Dolo say you're ready. Oh, this was the previous one. Anthony Karebi Karibusana, I can see you're ready. Whatever Kawa Sukari, Sukari Presbyterian Julia Karabi, great to see you there. Good. So we are good to go. Yeah, are you ready for the simple lesson? So this is what I'm going to do. If I'm a lesson and I'm teaching, and I want to target auditory learners. So the subject or the topic for today is balanced forces, and I will say forces. Balanced forces. These are basically forces that are equal in size. They are acting in opposite direction. When an object is acted upon by balanced forces, it remains at rest or stays in motion at a constant speed. So by just reading out the definition or just putting it out there and saying these are what are balanced forces, there's some students who will understand that from the word go, and they'll be like, oh, I understand these balanced forces. We will also have some students in my class, once they hear that, they are not yet sure what is SAR saying. So I'll go a step further and draw a diagram like that. So I'll draw a diagram with 2 arrows, 1 arrow on the other side saying that the force, okay, somebody is calling to confirm that I'm here live or something. Maybe they don't know I'm here teaching. Let me put this one on silent. It's easier that way. So I will draw just an arrow showing this is 20 newtons on this side, this is 20 newtons on this side, and they have opposite directions, same size of force. Then this is balanced forces. And some people are like, now I understand this concept of balanced forces. So just by putting this information in form of a diagram, then they're able to understand. Even better still, I can be able to draw, or I can show them a diagram and tell them when these people are involved in a tug of war, and one group is pulling on an opposite direction and the other one in the other direction, and they have the same amount of force, then that is a balanced force and nothing will move. Some sort of like, now I get it. So these are more visual learners who are now combining what I said, and they can see it in a visual way and they understand. And then we have the third group, which are the kinesthetic, who will want to engage themselves in activity for them to understand the same concept. So in a classroom, I would say probably we can have kind of the arm wrestling, yeah? And if two people are doing arm wrestling and they participate, I actually call participant volunteers, come 1, 2, do this. Then when they see that the forces are the same, opposite direction is not moving, they're like, now I get it. If I had planned, I would say, let's go to the field and do a tug of war and see at what point do we have balanced forces. And with that, I am able to teach the same concept, but hit different marks for different learners in my class, and they will understand differently. So a quick check right there where you are. Where would you say you're at? Are you a visual learner, a kinesthetic, or an audio learner? So either put an A, V, or an A, V, or K. Which one are you? Which learning styles apply for you? Is it visual? Is it auditory? Or is it kinesthetic? Just from our simple science lesson today, which one drove the point for you? I'll be down here. Let me check on the good stuff. I can see I have a student here who say they're more of the visual learner. Yeah. So when you saw the diagrams, then the people pulling, then you understood. Oh, I think I understand this concept of balanced forces. Who else? I can see. Oh yes, you said V. You can either put a V, an A, or a K. Let me see in the comments. I can see Jasmine is more of the A. So you just heard what I said and you're able to conceptualize and understand. Very good. I can see Anthony is also more of the audio. Yeah. Who else? Let them come. Let them come. I remember some conversations that we had when I was in school, and people would be like, you don't read during preps, but when it comes to the exam, you're performing well. And when I reflect on that aspect right now, I realize is that because I understood the concept in class when the teacher said it, not when I was reading my notes thereafter. Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Yes, you can have actually both. Yeah. We have 2 combinations or even 3, but you will find that one is more predominant than the other. So Anthony will say you are both a visual and an audio. I totally understand. Who else did I not see? Gladys, you're talking about you are more of the V. Salome is a V. Eclipse is a V. So you find V and a K. There was someone else with a V. Yeah. So you can have 2 or both, and I'll show you how it applies. So just to summarize, the auditory learner will learn best when they hear something. They sometimes participate in a group discussion, when they watch a video and they listen through the video, when they just hear the oral presentation of a certain concept. Visual learners, these are learners who will learn when they see things maybe displayed in a diagram, in a graph, in an illustration. There's a PowerPoint involved. The teacher showed a video, or they have been told there's a picture, there's a chart on the wall. I know some schools, you go to the schools in the premises, they have maybe the map of Kenya somewhere on a certain wall. They have the digestive system on another wall. They might have, you will find during break, some students now discussing, oh, by the way, this is what the teacher was saying. These are the visual learners who are using the eyes as the main sense to absorb the information. And you find the kinesthetic, they are more of the hands-on. They will be walking around even in class. They want to role play. They want to take notes. And sometimes this student might be, some people might actually misunderstand them and think they're disruptive or they're just a nuisance. But they really learn when they are moving or when they're on the go, and they are the people who are always willing to volunteer to do a specific task. So I hope that idea lands in well, and I'll tie it in how it helps us now making the decision in terms of career choices. So I think that part went well. We are good to go. Can we now discuss about the career pathways? So with the new CBC curriculum, the idea is the students will go through primary, they finish, they go to junior secondary, they finish, and at grade 9, they will go to senior secondary schools. The senior secondary schools will be divided based on certain career pathways, and a child will need to decide which pathway they pick. Now, as you can see, The senior secondary schools will have three pathways. That is arts, sports, science. We also have social sciences, and we have STEM. And based on these career pathways, this will lead them to now the university, tertiary education, and training they'll pick up. Now, the other thing is when we talk about STEM, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And inside that same STEM, there are certain categories that are there. Let me just pick them here. Uh, so under STEM, they can decide to go to applied sciences. They can go to pure sciences. They can go to, which is the other category under sciences. Just 1 minute. Yeah, there's pure sciences, applied sciences. They can go to engineering pathway, or they can go to career and technology studies. They have also different career paths in that. For example, if you go with the careers and technology studies, you can be a software developer, web developer, cybersecurity analyst, user experience designer, database administrator, and stuff. If you go with pure sciences, you can be a scientist, a mathematician, physicist, biologist, chemist, health administrator. If you go to applied sciences, this is where you get agricultural scientists, actuarial science, food science, technologies, there's aviation, there's different types of applied sciences. Then we have engineering. You can end up being a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, you can be a civil engineer, architect, geologist, all that are in that path. Then we also have the, so we are pure, I think, they are part of the presentation. It's only that the different careers, there are so many, I wouldn't be able to put them here. If you decide to go with social sciences, then we have three pathways also in that, where we have languages, humanities, and business studies. If you go for languages, as an example, some of the careers that you will be in, you will find yourself probably as a translator, a writer, an editor, a journalist, a salesperson, a researcher, paralegal, and stuff. If you go to humanities, the careers there would be like a historian, archaeologist, philosopher, lawyer, mediator, urban planner. In transport, you are in housing policy, communication, and stuff. If you go for business studies, you can go at a accounting, financial analyst, business management, entrepreneur, investment banking, financial planner, stockbroker, and stuff. Yeah, so that is what we have when we talk about social sciences. Then, if you decide to pick the other career path, which will be arts and sports science, you can either go to sports science, visual arts, and performing art. The different maybe careers that you can be able to pick in these three areas. Sports, you can be either in sports science, you can be a sports coach, as therapist, sports nutritionist, gym instructor, fitness coordinator, personal trainer. If you go with visual art, you can be a visual illustrator, graphic designer, animator, animation artist, and Can you hear me now? What about now? Can you hear me? Not audible. Can't hear. Issue with the sound. So we are good. Oh, now you can hear me. We are good. I don't know where did I. Yes. Go back to sports science. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Let me then go back to sports science. Yeah. Where is my presentation? Okay. Let me just go a step back. Yeah. So not good. Now good. Oh, now good. Okay. Good. Thank you for the feedback. So can I start from social sciences? Is that okay? Is that okay? Yes. Okay, good. So I've said under social sciences, we have three pathways: languages, humanities, and business studies. What are the possible careers in that? If you go for languages, you can be an interpreter, a journalist, a communication person, a paralegal, sales, copywriter, and stuff. If you go to humanities, here you can be a historian, archaeologist, philosopher, a lawyer, an urban planner, environmental, I think there's land use planning, environmental planner, housing policy, public policy analyst, and stuff. If you go for business studies, then you will have entrepreneur, accountant, financial analyst, financial planner, investment banking, portfolio manager, wealth manager, market research, and stuff. So there are several careers right there. Then sports science. So under sports, arts and sports science, there are three, again, pathways. If you go to sports science, then you can either be a sports coach, physiotherapist, sports nutritionist, sports, you can talk about gym attendant, fitness program coordinator, personal trainer. If you go with visual arts, you can be a visual artist, illustrator, graphic designer, painter, art teacher, art director. Performing arts, it can either be music, musician, acting, dancer, theater director, choreographer, music performer. So those would be the different pathways or careers in that area. Now, the next thing is, how then do you make that decision easy for you as a parent and the teacher? Now, remember, yes, the teacher can do their part. They can help your child make the decision, but the ultimate decision is between you and your child. And I understand not all parents are adequately prepared even to make that decision. I was just talking with another parent, I think, is it this week or last week, and say, if he looks back at how he ended up doing the career he's doing, it wasn't a very clear path. It was try and error. And that is not what is expected. Like, you took a very long time to identify where you're heading or what is your career, and now you're expected even now to maybe advise your child. So to help you make this decision and make a smooth, seamless transition from junior secondary to senior secondary, we have been able to come up with what we are calling the CBC aptitude assessment. And allow me to take about like 10 minutes just to explain to you how it is, how it works. And if you have any question, I can be able to answer it. Now, with this CBC aptitude assessment, is a tool that is going to help you make that decision much better. So how does it work? It's an online assessment that is designed for students aged 11 to 14. Basically, students in junior secondary school. Now, once they do the assessment, it will be able to evaluate, number one, their learning styles, and it will give you a percentage. I'll show you in a short while what is the more the learning style that the student is able to absorb most of the information, and what are their potential career pathways. It takes about 10-15 minutes to complete. Thereafter, you will be able to download a report immediately that you can go through, that you can decide what is it that you can do as a parent to assist the teacher, and then on top of that, we'll have a career coaching session between you and the child. So some of the scores that you'll be able to get would be something like this. You have the learning styles. For this particular student here called John, you can see he scored 83%. He's more of a kinesthetic learner. What that means is that if information was just presented in a kinesthetic way, he will be able to absorb 83%. If it was only presented in an auditory way, they will absorb 63%. And if it was only visual, it will be 54. And you can see the predominant here is kinesthetic. And it does not mean that this person cannot necessarily learn through visual style. So we can see those people who say they have two styles. Yeah, this is where they fall. The other thing is it gives you a percentage in terms of where is your child more aligned to. Is it sports science, sports arts and sports sciences? Is it social sciences? Is it STEM? That is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. In this case, it scored higher on arts and sports sciences. You can see it does not mean that they have totally kicked out like social sciences. That is the most probable career that they can be able to also pick on. So with this kind of result, based on their interests, based on their preferences, based on their skills and their learning style, it will help you make a more informed decision. The other thing is that it comes with recommendations for both teachers and parents. It will tell you, as a parent, this is what you can do to support this child. Because they are more of this learning style, this is their career pathway, it will have some recommendation. And they're as simple as, I saw another one, like a child is more of the kinesthetic, they will be like, even give them opportunities to learn how to cook at home. As they do these things hands-on, they are actually engaging their intellectual capabilities. Teachers will be told this student is more like this. You can support the child like this. It will give you the careers and the university courses they can do. So what I was saying, I know it's a long list. If it is arts and design, if it is engineering, applied sciences, what are down there, it will give you all those courses for you to start thinking and having this discussion early enough. Now, the benefit is actually three ways. The first benefit is to the student because it boosts confidence and motivation by aligning their education with their natural strengths. And I can tell you, once a child is able to know that this is how I learn best, and you pick that motivation and put it in the education, then they become unstoppable. Oh, no audio. You lost me again. Are we also suffering the same? Today, I don't know what is happening. Can you hear me? Are you also having a challenge with the audio? Hey. Oh, okay. Sorry, I think, oh, you can hear me. Can you hear me? Yes. Everyone says no. Oh, technology today. You're audible. Thank you. Maybe 2, 3 more people to confirm. Are we good to go? Are we good to go? No, the audio is no, the audio is okay. Okay. No, the audio is okay. So I'll go with the audio is okay. Maybe 2 more people to confirm that we are good to go. Sometimes you're audible. Thank you. Now I can hear you. Okay, good. I think then we can proceed. Yeah. I don't know where I left. So let me just take this very quick. I said you will have recommendations for you as a parent, how you can support the child. You have recommendation for teachers on how they can be able to support the student. And also you'll have the list of the different career pathways and the university courses they can be able to do. The other thing is that the benefit to the student, it will boost their confidence and motivation by aligning their education with natural strength. I don't know. Have you ever had that opportunity where you are doing something that you're passionate about, you are happy about, or that is your area of strength, and you put in all your time and effort, even you didn't know time is going? Imagine taking that kind of motivation, that intrinsic motivation, and putting it in your child's education, especially when they understand that this is how I learn best, and their learning style is actually aligned to their natural strengths, and they apply it in the different subjects. Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. The students are going to perform well. It will help to personalize teaching plans for this learner. As a teacher who knows, for example, some of the recommendations will say this student is more of a visual learner. If you can be able to explain using charts and diagram. And so when a teacher is teaching and the student like, oh, I didn't understand that, they know this is the best way to assist this. And I can also say to the student, early career guidance helps in setting realistic and achievable goals. I was having this conversation with another parent, and they said, I think it is too early for our children to make these decisions. Even as we didn't make this decision very this early. I said, it's okay. It's only that this is like the pioneer class, but I can tell yes, the internet. I'm now back. Today, the network, the technology wants to fail us. But I am glad to see how resilient you are in terms of hanging in there. We're now good, yeah? I'm sure now you can see me. I have just changed my internet to the backup. I had a backup because I don't like having things not playing out the best way. Are we good? Are we good? Let me take some water. If I'm back, let me know you can see me. If you can see me, let me test here. Am I back? Okay. Okay, good. Jasmine, thank you for the feedback. Today, the network wants to disappoint us. You off again? I'm back. Good. I can see you, Patrick. Thank you. Today, the network wants to disappoint me. But don't worry. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be closed. Yeah. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be done. I've just put my backup network. That's in case one fails me. But now we're good. What was I saying? Early career guidance to help set realistic and achievable goals. Students in international schools are exposed to this career discussion way early, such that by the time they end up making the decision, even going to the university, they are very clear on what they are after. The problem with our generation, like me, I think the first time I had the conversation about careers was when I was selecting my subject, my courses to go to the university. And I didn't even know what I am choosing. I just looked at my points this university is offering this course, then I can go do that. Yeah. So when we have this early discussion, it will help us make realistic goals. Now, the other benefit I wanted to share is that for the parents and the teachers, when you have these 3 stones, you can easily cook. That stool that has the 3 legs, it can stand. Because number one, the students know where their strength, the education, aligning the education with their natural strength. The parent gains insight into the child's strength and potential career path. The teacher can now tailor instruction methods to suit the individual learning style. And that collaboration help us bring an all-rounded student. We support the child in the educational outcomes. So these are some of the actually feedback I've gotten. You can see a parent here who said, the insight from the assessment were incredibly accurate. My daughter feels more confident and motivated to pursue her interest. The career coaching session was invaluable. We have another parent who said, as a parent, I was always struggling with how best to support my child. The expert guidance provided was tailored to our needs and has made a significant difference in our approach to our child's education. I highly recommend the assessment to all parents. A teacher said that this assessment was a game changer for my students. I can now tailor my teaching to each student's needs, making learning more engaging and effective. So you can see the kind of value that you get if at least you have this assessment, your child going through it and knowing what it's needed. Now, what you're going to get, an orientation session on how to do the assessment. You will get the 20 minutes assessment. At most, it can take 20 minutes. You get an individualized report you can download immediately. And we have a career counseling session as a group and also as one-on-one, depending with the numbers that we get. So the assessment itself is only costing $2,999. And I want you to take advantage of this assessment. It is a very small investment that you're putting down that will have the biggest return in terms of this investment. I know you pay far much more in terms of even school fees, which is okay because the student go and learn. But if they don't know how they learn best, if they don't know which career they're best aligned to, again, we are losing on something. So what you're going to get for the $2,999 is the orientation session, the assessment, the report, and the career counseling session. If you're here with me live, I want you to go ahead and make the payment because I want to give you a special offer of the $2,999. Personally, when I do coaching, I would charge somewhere between $6,000 to $10,000 per hour to do the coaching. But because we will have that group coaching session, I'm only having you pay $2,999. So go ahead. It's a till number. Lipa na M-Pesa, buy goods and services. Till number is 715732. Normally, I know the schools are going back to open, so I try to do my career coaching group sessions in the evening. So we can have one tomorrow. If you pay today, I'll create the account. You can do the assessment with your child tonight or tomorrow during the day, and we can have a session in the evening. You can also join the session on Saturday between 2:30 and 3:30. We can also have another session on Monday. You don't need to attend all of them, but based on when you are available and the child is also available. I know there are some parents we have also created time outside this time. If they're at home, we can do it during the day. So why this aptitude assessment? I want to give you the educational theory behind this. This assessment is designed to evaluate students' learning styles and career paths accurately. And it is aligned with what we call Bloom's anatomy, which emphasizes that the importance of assessing different cognitive skills, from basic knowledge to higher level thinking skills. Also, if you're an educationist, you must have come across the Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. And we know that individuals have different intelligences, like linguistic, logistical, mathematical, spatial, and more. Now, this assessment is able to evaluate all these assessments and tell you this is where they will best thrive in. Don't leave this decision of transitioning from junior secondary to senior secondary to chance. If you have the ability to at least invest this small amount and get scientific evidence in terms of where you're going, because most of us or parents, let me talk about parents, they are emotionally invested in their children. And of course, even me, I want my child to be the best, but probably what I want for them is not what they want for themselves. Sometimes we parents, we want to live our dreams through our children. Because I didn't make it to be an engineer, I want my child to be an engineer. Or because I didn't make it to be a lawyer, then this is going to be the lawyer. Make that decision using the right scientific tools. For only 2,999, through the till number 715732, get the orientation session, get the assessment report, and the career counseling session. Yeah, this is the cognitive. The other theory that we use is the cognitive development. We know at adolescence, this is where they start to enhance their abstract thinking and problem solving and decision making skills. According to Piaget theory of cognitive abilities, adolescents enter this formal operational stage around 12 years of age, where they develop this ability to think logically and hypothetically. This cognitive maturity enables them to make more informed and rational decisions about their future. And as you can see, as they grow, that is why they are making this decision now. And the earlier you engage them, the better, rather than having this discussion way later, as it has been a mistake on the previous, probably, can I say, education systems and how we have been raised. You can see the optimum part of the development between 0 to 24. Yeah, at age 12, if nothing is done, like halfway, you can see your cognitive ability can start to deteriorate, while we can engage it early and we have more growth in your cognitive capability. And you can see that is why age 65 and above, you can see that is where the cognitive ability starts to depreciate and going down. I don't want to ask you how old you are, but you can see where you fall in this graph. So again, take advantage of this session. If you make the payment right now, let me know in the chat, say you're paid. I'll create the assessment and send you that. I can see a question. Name of the quiz. It is called the CBC aptitude assessment. If you want to get a bit more information about it, I can give you URL that you can go to. Just a minute. Let me put it here. So it's careerpoint.co.ke/CBC. If you go there, so it is locally developed. This is the first CBC aptitude assessment developed here in Kenya to fit our current situation and education system. So for more information, just go to careerpoint.co.ke/CBC. Thank you for that question. Any other question? If you make the payment now, just let me know. Good now. Okay, I guess. These are when people are saying I'm frozen or we are back and stuff. Okay, good. Any question? I think I'm through. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Drop them in the comments. And as you draw that, let me just show you how it is done. A quick demo of this assessment as you type your questions. So let me just do a quick demonstration of what happens. Now, if you sign up and you pay for it, but then if you pay, let me know in the chat that you have just paid, and then I'll communicate with you and give you the details. So you will get a link. I can also share with you this link where you need to, let me even bring a little bit closer. I don't know if I can be able to zoom in a bit further. Yes, there we go. So what happens, you get this code. For the demo, the code is just 12345. You submit, you'll get a unique one for your child, and then it will be able to pull in their name and the school. So you confirm Yeah, this is Daniel Butuku, my school academy. Are you ready to do the assessment? Yes. So you go to next. The question would be, so there are 4 sections. This is testing the learning styles. Yeah, I remember things better when I hear them. They can just say agree, neutral, or disagree. So in my case, I can say yes, I agree with that. Then the next question would be, I like doing activities in class like experiments. Then they can either agree or maybe I'm neutral about that. Then I enjoy drawing or painting in my free time. You can say I disagree with that. So you can see this second section is about interest. Yeah. The second section is about interest. I like playing team sports like soccer or basketball. I can disagree. Then here I can say, now this is skills. I am good at understanding and explaining things to my friend. I can say I agree. I can easily remember facts and details about subject I'm interested in. Yes. Now this is preference section. I prefer doing activities that involve a lot of movement and physical activity. I can say I agree. And then I can come here and say, I like to work on project by myself rather than in a group. Maybe I'm neutral about that. And then I submit. And just like that, I am done with the assessment. Now, this is just a quick demo. It only had, can I say, 8 questions from the 2 questions for every section. But the real assessment normally has 51 questions. And as I said, it will take about 10, 15 minutes to do. They can always go back and change, but once they submit, they will be able to download the report right there and there. So I guess that has been my time. Open to pick any questions that you might have. Feel free to drop that in the chat. I also want to remind you, take advantage of this assessment. It's only 2,999. The till number that you can be able to make payment to is 715732. Maybe you can take a quick screenshot of that. And I think that has been my time. I'll hang on in there just to know if there's any question. Either you can reach me directly, call me, WhatsApp me on this number, but probably not now. If you want to call me tomorrow morning, yeah, or during the day. I appreciate that. But on text, you can WhatsApp me right away. 732 20 97 95. And I'm trying to see if there's any question here. Then that is it. I really appreciate you hanging in there. As we finish up, I want to know from you, what would you say is your key takeaway from today's session? What have you learned? If you don't have any question, let me take the next 5 minutes or 3 minutes to read through what you can say was your key takeaway from the session, and we will call it a day. Georgina Tino say good now. Oh, you're talking about what have you learned? What was your key takeaway from today's session? I also want to know from Anthony Karemi. You have been following through. What do you say was your takeaway? Oh, there was a question. Only in Kenya? No, it's not done only in Kenya. You can be able to do it anywhere because it's done online. I have had also some students who have done this from international schools. And because it is evaluating the student learning style and which career they are more probable to go to, it is still aligned. It does not matter which system that you're in. So you can still do it in Kenya. You can do it anywhere else. If you're in an international school, you're in the system, still that applies. Is that okay? Good. So you have learned about your learning styles, yeah? Wairimo. That's a good takeaway. That's a good takeaway. Probably 2 more. Let me know what your takeaway has been, and then we can call it a day. I guess What was your takeaway? What was your takeaway? What was your takeaway? Let me look at the comments here. And I can start even picking on people. Gladys, I know you've been here. What was your takeaway? What have you learned today? Jasmine Wamboy, what have you learned from today's session? I'll be happy to know. Let me start picking up on people here, but not in a bad way. Salome Ndolo, you have been with us since the beginning. I want to close it, but as I said, by 8:30 we'll be done on the next 2 minutes. I like to check with my students if they have learned anything. Yeah. Bessie, what have you taken from today's session? Lucy, what have you learned from today's session? Anyway, probably there's some network or some delays in terms of your comments. They are not coming in, but I really appreciate. Thank you very much. I think that has been my time, and we'll keep in touch. You have my number. You have my email. And then if you want to drop me an email, let me show you my email address. Daniel@careerpoint.co.ke. If you prefer communicating on email, that's my email address. Daniel@careerpoint.co.ke. Oh, yeah, there was some delay. I was wondering. Different learning style, career pathway is a journey. Thank you. I really appreciate your feedback. Yeah, it has been, I think there was some delay. Career pathways, you know now what is engaged, especially with the CBC, and which direction you might assist your child to go through. I appreciate that. There's very insightful and knowing the VAK, yes, visual, auditory, and kinesthetic ladder, and like that. Career pathway is determined by inherent talent, interest, yes, and then if you can be it's economically viable, you saw that part, yes, then that's a career you can pursue. But if you're passionate, you have the strength or it's your talent, but no money aspect, then that can also be a hobby that you'd want to take. That is still okay. I'm out. Thank you. You have been a good class. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.